You and me and friendlies.
That's not what you were supposed to say.
Okay, I was supposed to say it's clobbering time.
It's clobbering time.
Wait, I gotta say it like who was the one that played it in the original 2? He was Michael Chiklis.
Michael Chiklis, yes.
It's clobbering time.
Did he ever say it?
I think so.
Or are they saving that for the third movie?
But they made the third movie.
They didn't make the third. I mean, they made a new movie, but it wasn't the third movie. That's the trouble with these non-Marvel franchises. The ones that are owned by Fox or Sony, they're always shooting for that third movie. They're shooting for that third movie, and
they
sometimes
made X-Men
the third
3,
movie
but
never comes.
Third X-Men was garbage.
I don't know. I can get into an argument about that. I don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is.
Yeah, well, the second one was really great.
The second one
That's
was
one
really
of those circumstances.
That's like an Empire Strikes Back kind of level. I mean, in terms of those.
Okay.
In terms of that franchise, that is their Empire Strikes Back, I think.
And I guess the third one is kind of like Return of the Jedi with lots of.
All it had is a bunch of Muppets.
Ewoks.
I never got that. We've talked about that. I never got that joke from Clerks where they say all Jedi had was a bunch of Muppets, because there were a couple of Muppets, but it was mostly small people in suits.
Yes, it wasn't Wicket, the Ewok.
Yes, that was.
Wasn't he Warwick Davis?
Warwick Davis, yeah.
The guy that was
Warwick
Willow.
Davis, see, Warwick Davis is the guy they bring in for all sorts of short people. Height challenged people, right? Like Warwick Davis is on every movie.
They got little hands, they got little feet, they go something on a blah blah blah. I hate short people around here.
He is the person they bring in for every time when they need, whether he's actually in it or he's just the advisor now as he's gotten older. He's always there. Similar to what is the guy who played Gollum?
Oh, that guy.
That guy. He is there for every motion capture anything. So he was King Kong, and he was there consulting on, or he was the motion capture person for Planet of the Apes. And I was watching some of the behind-the-scenes stuff for Avengers Age of Ultron, and he was there coaching both James Spader and Mark Ruffalo, because both of them were doing a tremendous amount of motion capture. And he's the expert on the motion capture.
Because he did 3.
He's been one of those damn dirty apes.
Technically, I mean, how many was he? He was in the Hobbit movies too.
Yes.
He was in the first,
the first one.
First Hobbit movie.
Yep.
And he was in all of the Lord of the Rings. So that's 4 movies.
And then Kong, and then the two Planet of the Apes reboot movies that have come out.
Was he one of the apes?
He was the lead ape, as far as I know.
Was he Grape Ape?
Grape Ape is a cartoon character exclusively, right? That's not a cereal?
No.
Okay, like not a grape flavor. That sounds gross. Just even saying
I think they used to have
flavored cereal.
There was a grape flavored cereal. It was Nerds cereal, and they had the two sides. Well, like they had the Nintendo.
That's right.
Cereal system, which had the Legend of Zelda on one side and Super Mario Brothers on the other, and then there was Nerd cereal, which is basically the same thing, only with just like it was strawberry on one side and I think grape on the other.
Yeah.
Like the thing of Nerds candy that you would get, only it was a nutritious breakfast.
Oh, of course it was. Of course it was. Do you think they? I don't know. You go back and look at the nutrition facts on those things and see what the heck the deal was.
Do they have friendlies in other parts of the country?
Going
back to the first thing I talked about.
You said, I don't know if they have friendlies in other parts of the country. It may be one of those things like Dunks has expanded now. Although the
thing is, like, Friendlies was in financial turmoil recently.
Right.
And so they had to shut a lot of their stores down.
Yeah.
I don't know if they expanded beyond the New England area. I don't remember, like, when I lived down south, I don't remember seeing any Friendlies.
Yeah, I don't think...
I think it's a like northeast at least. I'm not sure if it's exclusively New England.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right about that.
So if you're in New England...
Sad commentary on the world.
Well, the thing is,
Friendlies is not something that is expanded, where Dunkin' Donuts,
Well, the trick is, like... It may not be a terrible thing because that means people may more often be going to a local ice cream joint. There we go.
Very nice. Very nice. Nice big old spike over there on the on the old computer. On the new computer.
Yes.
The new computer.
New to us computer.
New to us computer. We should pour one out, although not really, because there's a computer nearby and we're in your apartment and we don't want water stains.
Yes.
But you can imagine us pouring one out for my dear departed iMac, which last week was causing us trouble, and I apologize for the weird sound last week, which was in part due to my dying old iMac, and this week just completely shit the bed.
Well, it's
my old iMac, so I still have the one.
Like how many of the podcasts did we actually record on it?
On that, hard to say because I'm trying to remember. Because we did a ton of the
all
early
the ones that we did
in
your brother's old room, basically, right?
Yeah, all the ones we did in my brother's old room, and we did one or two upstairs where I'm living now before we were moved in.
But was that with that computer or your other computer?
No, that was with that computer.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we've never done one on my daily use computer, which would make things easier for me, except that my daily use computer is in what used to be just the hallway / alcove at the top of the stairs. There's not a lot of room there.
Well, it could be nice and cozy.
And I mean, this is, I guess, why all of my friends when I worked at Apple were always like, you got to get a laptop. Laptops can go with you anywhere, and you can always add an external monitor. And like, I get it. I understand now. I'm still a desktop guy.
It's fine. I'm only silently judging you.
Only. So we Becky was nice enough to let us use her laptop.
Thank you, darling.
And that was...
I don't know why I said it like that. Thank you, darling.
It's like a lot of the trouble that we ran in. This is too much inside baseball. I'll finish really quickly. But a lot of the trouble that we usually...
90% of the time you fail, 10% of the time Yogi Berra died last week.
Oh, man. I mean, yeah, we mentioned it, and we didn't get into it fully, but yeah, Yogi Berra's gone.
What I just said didn't make any sense. Less sense than what he normally said.
But the laptop eliminates a lot of the issues that we had when we would record on my old iMac, so that's nice. And that's all I had to say about that. We should get back to talking about friendlies. Something relevant to everyone's lives is friendly. Now, Baskin-Robbins is also not something that expanded that far, right?
I think Baskin-Robbins is nationwide. Because Dunkin' Donuts owns it.
Right. Dunkin' Donuts so it's Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin-Robbins. Are there a lot of like combo Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin-Robbins in the same way that there's like combo Taco Bell, KFCs?
Or Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
Yeah. Like
there's a song like, I'm at the Pizza Hut, I'm at the Taco Bell, I'm at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. You should find that and put that in the show notes.
There's a challenge. I'm not a huge fan of those. The last time I went to Taco Bell, I got the last like 3 or 4 times.
You got the runs?
Yeah, now it's been like 5 or 10 years. We've just avoided the Taco Bell. Although I get the sense Stephanie goes there every once in a while without telling me.
We used to go all the time back in the days of being mall rats. Because there was one at the Festival Mall.
Yeah.
But then they closed it.
Is it?
There's one again.
Okay, but they closed it for a while.
It's where the Sparrow used to be.
Right, because they closed it down to modernize the whole bathroom situation.
Yes, no, well, actually, where the bathrooms are
is where
the Dream Machine was.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why we spent a horrible amount of time
at Taco Bell.
Well, not at Taco Bell, but at the mall.
Right. Yeah. The Dream Machine was.
Pardon.
The Dream Machine was pretty cool. I didn't go in as often as I wish I had. Looking back on it, because maybe I would have sucked less at video games if I'd spent more time in the Dream Machine than running back and forth across the street to Rocket Records, which is where all the cool bootlegs were.
Rocket Records?
Rocket Records.
Was that next to Daddy's Junkie Music?
Yes, Rocket Records was next to Daddy's Junkie Music. And then this is like, speaking of other local institutions, like Newbury Comics is a local institution.
I think Newbury Comics is actually, well, it is local, but I think people know about it in other parts of the country.
Right. But here's the thing about Newbury Comics. So Rocket Records was across the street, and I don't know if Rocket was going out of business at this point or not, but Newbury Comics was in what is now a self-contained AT&T.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's AT&T.
And they moved out of there, and basically
we're really getting local.
Well, but here, so like they would move. This is why I can't decide how I feel about them, because they moved out of there and into the old Rocket Records shop.
Yes.
And I get the feeling that they kind of pushed Rocket Records out. Now, years later, when
No, because like Rocket Records was gone long before.
I don't know,
like
really?
Newbury, because Newbury was there for like at that place.
Newbury was at the one place that's adjacent to the mall, but not the mall, for a long time.
We would always park in that lot that's kind of like in between the two,
because it was not as populated. Yeah,
yeah, and we could go to both, and our car could be close to both.
But here's the thing.
But that was back when it was Lechmere, not Target.
I know. So I wrote it was a series of like tweets about it. I was going to say I wrote a story about it. Maybe I did. I don't know. I'll have to try and find. Anyway, maybe they didn't force Rocket out, but they did force a comic book store out of the mall. So
yes, that was. So yeah, they had Harrison's Comics.
Yes,
which they have. There's one in.
There were like 3 of them at one point.
There's still. I think there's one actually in Woburn. There's one in Salem. The big one is in Salem.
Big one is in
Mass.
Salem. Yeah.
So if you want to go to the one in Salem, Mass, good luck because it's October.
Yeah.
And then the other one is in. It used to be in Nashua. They actually switched, like because Newbury Comics switched with Harrison's, and Harrison's went to. But then Harrison's was like, this is too expensive here, so they're in Hudson, New Hampshire now.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Over by not far from where I used to live, and
I should check that out because I mean I don't buy a ton of stuff in issues anymore. I mostly use my Marvel Unlimited app and read everything 6 months later. But
do you get a graphic novel every once in a while?
I do get a graphic novel every once in a while, and there is a series, Saga, by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples that I buy in issues. It's on a break right now, so I haven't had cause to go.
Well, if you want to read something, there's this pretty cool manga that I read.
Wait, what's it called?
It's called One Piece.
All right, I got a drink.
I've yet to mention it on this show. I'm gonna get it all over the mic.
Oh my god!
Don't do that again. Do you need to pause it?
No, I was trying to get some good sound effects there, and in the process, I almost
choked yourself with water.
I almost died like the handsome young black man on my cup. Biggie, and it would be a shame if I died today, because tomorrow or today when people start listening to this, but tomorrow as we're recording this is my birthday.
Yeah, 29 years young.
I'm supposed to turn 38 and 37. That's when all the rock stars die. The rock stars and the rappers die.
No, it was 27. That's what you're.
Oh, so I can't be a rock star. I'm like 10,
you could still be a rock star.
I'm like 10 years too late.
No, I mean, what is it? Like, there's been plenty of like artists that have like caught on very late.
No.
Like Lewis Black, I mean, he's not a musician,
a rock star, though.
But he didn't start like doing he was like a playwright. He wrote plays for the longest time.
So maybe there is hope for me.
Yeah.
Get out of playwriting and story writing. Get into something more profitable, like comedy.
Well, no, it's not. Well, for most people, it's not profitable at all.
I know.
I thought I'm an idiot sometimes. Sometimes I don't hear the sarcasm. But yeah, like he was a playwright, and then he just said the hell with it. I think he just started doing stand up, but he was in his I think late 40s, maybe even 50s before he started doing that. Rodney Dangerfield was pretty old before he started performing.
And he can't get no respect.
He didn't, apparently.
Which is sad.
If you saw the movies he did right before he died, then I don't know.
He did. Ladybugs was right before he died.
Ladybugs was good.
Ladybugs, I recall being decent. Yeah.
But then after that, he did My Five Wives or some goddamn shit. I haven't seen it, but it's just when and I'm plugging them, but when Netflix thinks that I'm really gonna hate something, they're usually right on.
Right.
I mean, sometimes I'll be like, you're totally wrong on this one, because it'll be like an outlier.
Yeah.
I'll be like, holy crap, I love this.
And do they have a column on your Netflix that shows you these are things you might hate?
No, it's just occasionally
they just try to tuck them away. They're like,
no, Steve, but if
no, Steve,
things that have been recently uploaded or whatever,
okay.
I'll be like, oh, what's new to Netflix or whatever. I'll be scrolling through, and some of them they'll be like 1 star, and I'll be like, Yeah, I have seen it and I never rated it or anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, you are totally right.
You're totally right. There's not a guy there that's like waving you off. That's special to your Netflix account. It's like, Steve,
That would be
no,
great.
no, you really don't. Please trust me.
They have this I don't know if it's on other streaming devices, but on PlayStation they have this, like, I don't know if it's still up there. I haven't done it in a while. It's called like Max. And you use it and like
Like Max Headroom?
No, but it's called Max and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And like it gives you choices. Like it's like, what are you in the mood to watch? Do you want to watch a comedy, a drama, blah blah blah? And then you pick one of them and then it gives you choices and then eventually you say no to all of them and then pick something yourself.
Well, I mean, that's part of what I think the new Apple TV is supposed to do. The idea will be that you can say, show me comedies, and it will show you some comedies and you can narrow it down from there. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, this is what led me, and I got a bone to pick about star ratings. Maybe we'll get to that later. But
I've got a bone to pick with you.
I've got a bone.
See, I just made some. I made a segue, a natural segue. But then
what was I going to go to instead of Stars versus Hearts?
I don't know.
No, there was something else you said. Oh, this is how I ended up watching The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
It's clobbering time.
I think you're thinking of the X-Men. So yeah, that's like,
come on, bub.
no, that's the Fantastic Four.
Oh, what? Oh,
although he was in the Fantastic Four for a little while. There was a period, I think, in the late '80s, maybe early '90s, where the Fantastic Four, the canonical Fantastic Four that we all know, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, Thing,
Mr. Fantastic,
they all went off,
as other people call him, Straw Hat Luffy.
Those guys all went off and did something, right? And the actual, I don't know if I can remember all three. It was Hulk. It was like Gray Hulk, so like smart Hulk. It was Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and now I cannot remember who the fourth one was.
Was it a woman?
I wanted to say She-Hulk, but she was a Fantastic Four member elsewhere. So it was those three, and I want to look it up. Anyway,
wasn't there West Coast Avengers as well?
There was the West Coast Avengers. Hawkeye was one of the proponents of that.
So he was in the West Coast?
He was on the West Coast, yeah.
Oh, and then it was what was the Captain America clone over there?
U.S. Agent.
Okay.
U.S. Agent. See, I am full of interesting information. So I started watching The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now I had been told by one of my students. Hi, Victor, if you're out there.
Do you think your students listen to this? I've asked you this a million times before.
I don't know. It's possible. But if I put in the show notes that I listen, or not necessarily the show notes, but if I say that we talked about The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's possible that he would go and take an hour to listen to it. I don't
Young
know.
teacher, the subject. I have to do it every time.
Every time I mention a student, male or female.
Hey, I'm not going to discriminate.
Hey, I don't discriminate either. I had a face. No, that's a story for another time.
What? That's a story for right now.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry. I'm pumping the brakes on Amazing Spider-Man.
I did not really have a face. No, I was kidding.
Come on, Chris. It's just you and me here.
And everybody listening.
I know, that was the joke.
No, I did not have a phase. I exaggerated a thing that I'm not sure that I want to talk about on the radio.
I want to hear about this. Is it something you could talk about vagaries around it? Maybe
talk vagaries around. I might have at one point
on the show. I would have remembered that.
No. So okay. Can't we just go back to talk about
Nope.
I can't believe this.
Hey, what is this? I opened up this can of worms.
Out of my goddamn mouth.
And apparently I don't want to go fishing now.
I don't want to go. All right. So we might have tangentially gotten around it when we were talking about the North Carolina girl. North Carolina
was
girl.
Was it actually not a girl?
No, that was a girl. Oh, and there was the girl that I lost my virginity to, who broke up with me 2 days later.
Yep.
We might have skirted around this issue at that point. There was a period briefly between North Carolina girl and the girl I lost my virginity to, where I was just so desperate for some kind of physical fix that I exchanged a couple of messages, first off, with somebody who identified on whatever site I was on as a... they didn't identify as a transsexual. They identified as a transvestite. Like they as a man dressing as a woman. And so I was like,
come away. I understand.
I am not getting anywhere with any of the women I have pursued, and maybe. Does
your wife know about this?
That's a good question. I feel like we must have spoken about it at some point.
Okay, but I'm just making sure that this isn't the first time
she doesn't listen to the show.
I know, but she doesn't listen to the show. But I don't want her to be like, well, I was listening to Chris on the show, and he said he was getting macking on a.
I know, nothing ever happened.
On a cross-dresser? Is that acceptable thing to say?
I don't think that's an acceptable thing.
Well, then fuck them all.
No, I don't. I would rather not.
All right. Well,
is what I decided.
But it was just like a little bit of communication.
There's a little bit of communication by email.
All right. Nothing beyond that.
Nothing beyond that. I was going to say it gets worse, but just that's not true. It doesn't get worse. But the story,
dick pics?
The story there was nothing got exchanged
except for bodily fluids.
Yeah, a little bit of fellatio.
Yay! Good for you.
No, I don't know if it was. I must have been
lost, but it's over now.
There was one other. There was one other person during that same month-long period or so. Where I actually did get as far as a phone call. This was just a man, not identifying as a crossdresser, as somebody as
LGBT something or other.
I don't know what the appropriate term is. For somebody who doesn't,
Caitlyn Jenner.
No, because Caitlyn Jenner is transsexual, right? Like, or has transitioned. But this is somebody who didn't. At least as far as they expressed at the time in 1997? Is that right? 97?
We'll just say Okama. How about that?
At any rate, there was one other person who was a man who did not dress in women's clothing. And I got as far with that person as talking on the phone. And the moment that I spoke on the phone, like maybe...
Every bit of erection disappeared.
Pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah. And I felt terrible. And I didn't know how, and because I'm not a person who likes confrontations, but I knew pretty, like I said, like 10, 20 seconds into this, I'm like, this is not for me.
Well, at least it was on the phone you figured it out, not like, with balls in your chin.
With balls on my chin, yeah. No, but...
This isn't for me. Can you take your cock out of my face?
The hard part of it was there was no hard part of me, but the hard part of the conversation, I had to make the joke for you because you were drinking.
Is that going to be the name of the show? The hard part of me.
The hard part of it was that I didn't know how to end the conversation then at that point because he was obviously interested, and I didn't want to be rude, but I didn't know how to end.
Okay, just how did he speak? Like, was it?
I don't know.
Was it like a hi, daddy kind of?
No. I think there was a slightly higher pitched, effeminate quality to the voice, but it wasn't. I mean, I had plenty of gay friends, and in fact, if any of them are listening to this, that I had one gay friend in particular who I think would have gone for me if I'd been gay, and I think, have I ever told him this story? I don't think that I did, and he would be really frustrated to know that just downstairs from. Wait, no, 97. No, this is before I lived downstairs from him. This is the year before. That the year before we lived in the same house together, I was propositioning and being propositioned by another man because he would be so frustrated to know that
he may have had a chance.
He might have had a chance.
Oh well.
So
a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas in the world.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
So Amazing Spider-Man 2, yeah. Well, we got a fun little story about your life.
No, I mean, there's not much to say about it except that I didn't hate it as much as I was supposed to.
Just like you hated talking to this man on the phone.
I didn't hate it as much as that.
Oh, okay.
The beginning of it, part of what is happening with the, and you said you haven't seen either one of them.
Nope.
So the Andrew Garfield, they reboot the franchise because Tobey Maguire is out.
Well, he's also old.
Yeah, and they needed to keep making Spider-Man movies in order to keep their contract, which worked out really well for them in the end because now they're collaborating with Marvel to make an in-universe Spider-Man movie. So at any rate, so they decided to make a new trilogy, theoretically, with Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker. And the first one wasn't bad. I actually think the first one
Who was the villain in the first one?
First one was the Lizard. The Lizard, yeah, interesting. They were scraping.
You were doing like a David Letterman there. It was the hey Paul. It was the Lizard.
Oh, hey Dave.
The Lizard.
The Lizard.
Lizard. You're not good at it.
No, I'm not good at it. But
I was doing Johnny Carson last night during the ceremony for no reason. I can't even replicate what I said.
Can't even replicate your Carson.
Hi-ho. Wait, that was Ed McMahon that would say that. Never mind.
That was Kermit the Frog. That's the only person I've ever known other than a dwarf to say hi-ho.
No, hi-ho.
Ho. Hi-ho.
You got any gum?
the Amazing Spider-Man, the first one, not that bad. Andrew Garfield, I think a better Spider-Man and a better Peter Parker than...
Did he eat lasagna? Hey, John, I want some lasagna.
Oh, God.
I'm going to kick the dog off the table.
And Sally Field played Aunt May. And so I'm mentioning this because there's we
were watching
trend.
Mrs. Doubtfire the other night. Boy, oh boy, was Sally Field a fox in that one. Pierce Brosnan and Robin Williams fighting over. It made sense.
I know. It did make sense.
Oh, hello, my dearies. Oh, you're such a... I'm glad you didn't go and have relations with that man.
You didn't have relations with James Bond. No, I didn't.
I'm disabled. We're just all over the place.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2, by contrast, right? Everyone...
Who's the villain in that one?
There are two villains, but
Wow.
the primary... There are three villains, really, but the primary villain is Electro,
Okay.
played by Jamie Foxx. And now, Jamie Foxx isn't bad. His character is weirdly written. But one of the things they had going on with these two movies that were eventually supposed to be three movies and then possibly also launch a Sinister Six spin-off and possibly launch a Black Cat spin-off and...
Sinister Six.
One of the things that they were...
Wasn't Doc Ock part of the Sinister
Yes,
Six?
and you saw his arms towards the end of this Amazing Spider-Man 2, like the last 5 minutes of which is just meant entirely to set up this Sinister Six movie, which did not happen and will not happen at this point. The movie, these two movies set up this whole subplot of what happened to Peter's parents. Now, were you aware Peter had parents?
No.
So yeah.
Did Peter Parker pick a peck of pickled parents?
That might be the
Yeah, we might have to go with that one.
And they did tackle this in the comics where eventually that Peter Parker had parents, obviously, because his aunt and uncle didn't give birth to him. He had parents, and they were secret agents or something, and so the movies were going to deal with this in some way, and it turned out that Peter's dad was working with Harry's dad, and that was... Harry being Harry Osborn, the second Green Goblin or the Hobgoblin or whatever the fuck he is.
Fucky long time.
And so they spend the first 5 minutes of the movie on an airplane with Peter's secret agent parents. And you're like, is this a it's like, it's totally serious. There's no joking. Is this a Spider-Man movie? Like, where's the banter? Where's Spider-Man? Like, where's fucking Spider-Man?
Was he taking pictures?
No.
Was J.J. Jameson in it?
He's a sad... At this point in the chronology of the film, he's a sad little boy who's just been dropped off with his aunt and uncle.
What is the name of the guy that played Jameson in the first three?
Oh my goodness, J.K. Simmons, is that right?
Yeah, you're right. He was the perfect guy for that.
He was the perfect guy, and that is that I really feel like There's no way in hell they'll do this. But if they were going to keep anything from either of the first two attempts at making these movies and bring it into the new one, bring back J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, obviously.
Bring him back as that he did not appear. There was no J. Jonah Jameson at all in this new Andrew Garfield trilogy.
Well, maybe in the Marvel reboot thing.
Maybe you can have.
He's got to be in it.
I mean, I don't know who
he
else
was like. You can't get better casting than that guy as that guy.
That guy. Now here's the thing, Aunt May. I was tweeting about this, and I'll see. Oh God, I'll see if I can link my tweets in the show notes so you can all see what the hell I was saying about Amazing Spider-Man. But Andrew Garfield and Sally Field have a great rapport, and part of it is because Sally Field is a little bit younger than the old lady whose name I've forgotten, Rosemary something. From the Tobey Maguire trilogy. Aunt May got younger in this. There
wasn't like a weird aunt and uncle thing going on?
No. Now here's the thing: in the new trilogy,
aunt and nephew,
in the new like Marvel Universe version, so they went from Rosemary Harris, maybe Rosemary something, to Sally Field. Do you know who's playing? I've probably said this on the show before, but it boggles the mind. Do you know who's playing Aunt May in the new Spider-Man movie?
Hilary Swank.
Marissa Tomei.
Oh, nice.
Marissa fucking Tomei. Like, Scent of a Woman, Marissa Tomei. Like, the wrestler, Marissa Tomei, who, like, a few years ago was playing a stripper, is now playing the maiden aunt of Peter Parker.
Whatever. She's getting work.
She's getting work. I just, like, she seems a little young. That's all I'm saying.
There's been people that have played old people that have been young before.
I say all that. I'm very interested to see where they take it. Because, of course, part of the point of this new movie is that they really want to show Peter in high school. And so having a younger aunt could be cool. And to see what Andrew... This is the first time I'd watched...
Wicked cool.
It could be wicked cool.
Hopefully there's no weird, creepy nephew.
I should hope not.
Nephew
aunt thing. No, I hope not.
Well, your Uncle Ben is done selling rice. And he's dead because you were...
Because he's done selling rice.
No, he's dead because you're a jerk-off and didn't stop that criminal.
Yeah, and you were too busy beating up the Macho Man.
Ooh, yeah!
They didn't have that part in the... Wait, did they have a... He falls into... I'm trying to remember the Amazing Spider-Man, the first one. I don't think... No, he never wrestles. He falls into a wrestling ring, I feel like, but he never actually does the wrestling thing.
Oh,
it's a little weird. I think it's a robbery that he doesn't stop.
Okay, well that was a robbery of the wrestling match or
right,
whatever.
But I think for the
it's like no skin off my ass, man. I'm just some sort of human spider guy.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit about that. I hope that guy doesn't kill my uncle.
That's the. I mean, so getting back,
he's got a lot of rice to sell.
The opening. So once they get past Peter's parents doing whatever their fucking spy thing is, and why we care about that, I don't know. They cut to Spider-Man trying to like save the city. Witty banter with Andrew Garfield. He's great. He's a perfect Spider-Man. But then they are cutting back and forth between that and Gwen Stacy, his girlfriend, giving a speech about how life is short. And
let's kill Spider-Man.
And we need to live up to and do you know what traditionally happens to Gwen Stacy in the comic books?
She dies.
She dies. At the beginning of this movie, she's giving a speech about how we have to cherish life and make the most out of it. Gwen's gonna die at the end of the movie. In case you hadn't, it's
spoilers.
So fucking telegraphed. It's just it. And then the movie gets all right. Then the movie gets all right for a while. It does. It gets.
I got a message for you, sir. It's telegraphed. Gwen Stacy is dead.
Gwen Stacy died. Yeah. And creepy Dennis Leary is in the beginning of.
What is he? Who is he?
So
playing?
In the first one, he was Gwen Stacy's dad. He's playing
and now he's not.
He's dead. And at the end of the first one, he made Spider-Man promise to keep Gwen out of harm's way, and of course,
and then he sucked at that.
He sucked at it.
That's why they're not making a third movie.
That's why they're not making a third movie.
You fucking suck at this, dude. Even though it's in the story.
I mean, so it's made these two movies, which were eventually going to be three. People made fun of it as like emo Spider-Man, like
just like the third Spider-Man.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it was like taking the worst of that vibe and translating.
But he was like literally emo Spider-Man in that one. When he had the symbiote suit there.
Yeah,
and he was just like walking around. His hair was all in his face like a goth kid.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield rescues it.
No offense to goth kids out there.
He does a good job, but man, this is
your time of year, goth kids.
Yes, it is your time of year. October.
Yeah.
It's my time of year right now. Today and tomorrow. Well, today.
This is our time. Our time down here on the fourth floor.
I tried to get my kids to watch that movie, and they're not having it.
They don't want to watch the Goonies?
They don't want to watch the Goonies. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Well, I don't know. It's not a cartoon, and it doesn't have. It's not on Disney Channel or whatever.
The other day, we were trying to figure out what to watch, and Melody, my youngest, she just kept chanting Iron Man. I don't think she's seen Iron Man. I think they are aware that my birthday is coming up, and she was just sort of sucking up to Daddy. She was just like Iron Man, Iron Man.
Well, that's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I think we ended up watching an episode of Who Do You Think You Are, which is the fun TV show about genealogy. Because we all wanted to go to bed. I was like, let's watch something during dinner and then we'll go to bed. And that's what we did.
That sounds fun.
It does sound fun. There was some hearts and stars and hearts and
rainbows
and stars and rainbows
and
Lucky Charms.
Clover. I had Lucky Charms.
You had this morning?
This past week. No, not this morning, but I just finished the box this past week.
And did you like them?
Yes.
What's your feeling on? I mean, could you go for generic Lucky Charms, or does it have to be the store bought?
I think they're called Magic Stars.
Yes, they are.
I don't know. I'd have to have a taste test.
See, we occasionally just buy the Magic Stars because we're trying to save money, and I don't know.
You should just save the Lucky Charms box and put
the Magic Stars in there,
and then they'll be like, "Oh, cool, thanks, pops." You just need to buy one box of Lucky Charms.
One box of Lucky Charms, and just keep shifting it in.
These don't look like the box. Aren't there supposed to be like rainbows in here? Not like this weird other crap.
Yeah.
I think Patton Oswalt has a good bit about Lucky Charms.
You mentioned it, and I didn't. Oh my! I was thinking about Patton Oswalt's bit about Lucky Charms.
I'm not going to try to describe it or anything, but if you want to go, I think it's on My Weakness is Strong.
Yeah, I think it's on that one.
Yeah,
it's a good one. Let me tell you about Lucky Charms, man.
No, see, that's what I don't want to do. We can just direct people to the right location where the funny is.
Stars, it's not here.
Well, sometimes it's here.
Stars versus Hearts. All right, so you have recently gotten a new phone with the new operating system on it,
yes.
right? Do you ever rate your songs in like the music app?
No, I don't. I'm annoyed by the music app.
Okay.
Like I liked it the way it was set up before, and now it's like difficult to find the things that I own on there. And the podcast app went that same way, and I'm like,
really?
what is going on?
I use a podcast app called Overcast, so I have not looked at the official Apple one in a long time. All right, so bad example, but you use Netflix, as we've talked about. We've already given them a free plug, so we can mention them all we want.
Yeah. Buy Netflix today. It's only like some sort of money to watch movies and shit.
That's a great ad.
Netflix.
You're just an idea guy, but they got to run with that.
Yeah. Come on. I'm just, you know what? You can watch streaming videos. You can actually get these awesome DVDs shipped to your house still, I think.
Who does that? Somebody does it.
I don't know, like old people?
Somebody does it.
People
I think my mother-in-law still does.
Hipsters, maybe. They're like, I still like watching DVDs and not streaming media.
So do I.
I like riding a bicycle and watching my portable DVD player while I do it. Drinking a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Hey, Steve, what do you... So you use the star system on Netflix?
Yeah.
All right. Here's why you're wrong.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here's why you're wrong. I think I've alluded to this before. I saw something this week, and the person was annoyed. And there are many reasons, among them the thing that you've already pointed out, about the new music app, that are annoying for a lot of people who got used to it. Your music is actually harder to find than ever. But this person was talking, they were talking about iTunes. Anyway, they were talking about the fact that they would like to have the star system back in iTunes, which I think you can bring back. It's just not there by default because, they love everything that's in their library. And so everything's got a heart next to it, right? The new system is just a heart. So, thumbs up, thumbs down. Pandora's had that for ages. Apple has it as a heart. Okay, so I think there's two fundamental, viewpoints here. And this is why the people who like the star system are wrong. Because if you got a system of 5 stars, you know what everyone rates the songs that they're kind of about?
3.
3 stars, which means I don't like it, I don't hate it, it's 3 stars. It's useless.
No, it's not useless.
4 stars is a good system because you have to make up your fucking mind. Do you like it or do you not like it? You know what's even better?
What?
Hearts. You like it or you don't like it?
But the trick is, there are things that are in my music library that I like more than other things.
Okay.
So,
for instance?
I don't know. There's a bunch of Ween songs that I prefer over some, random crap that I bought a CD that,
No,
so maybe the 3 stars for the things that I kind of like, and then 4 stars for the stuff that I really like.
I had a system.
Well, I would prefer 4 stars as opposed to like or dislike.
Okay. Well, I had a system when it was 5 stars, and my system was 4 stars was a song that I liked above average, above most of the stuff in my library. 5 stars was for my absolute favorite songs ever.
Yeah.
But I found that I was just rating everything 4 stars, and then eventually just rating everything 5 stars. So the system lost all meaning. 3 stars I started to use for things that I kind of liked, and I was like, I never listened to the 3-star stuff. I always skipped the 3-star stuff. And 1 and 2 star, 1 star was dedicated to stuff that I had.
But the thing is,
bad encode or something.
When
I
was uploading my CDs to iTunes,
yeah.
Because I still have those. They're in this box right here, actually. I would look at the track list. I'm like, I don't like half of these, so I didn't bother uploading those songs. So
that's where I think the point of contention. I think it's the young people who are to blame for this hearts versus stars thing. So I get the whole point about I like everything in my library if you don't actually listen to any albums, which of course the young people don't listen to albums anymore because they like, what's an album? They just buy if they don't buy anything either. They steal it all or they stream it. Fuck you, young people. Apparently, I'm getting old.
They don't listen to this. Don't worry.
If you don't listen,
deep breaths. Everything's going to be okay.
If you don't listen to an album and aren't aware of what an album cut is, of course you think, well, everything in my library is something that I like. So why would I just I listen to things. I have things in my library that are album cuts, but and I will occasionally listen to the whole album, but I'm not going to mark everything on the album.
There's some things that I think I actually put it all on. There's the Mr. Bungle album, the original Mr. Bungle album. There's one song that I can't listen to on that album that I despise.
Yeah.
It's Love is a Fist, I think, is the name of the song. And I will skip it every day of the week.
Yeah.
But I think I actually uploaded the song just so I could skip it if I was listening to the album.
Yeah.
It's not as good as My Ass is on Fire. It's not funny, my ass is on fire.
It's funny you mentioned the skipping things. Years ago, my friend John, John Martin, who I do the Generation Goat podcast with on occasion.
Have you done one since we started doing this podcast?
No. But he and I talked about restarting it at some point when I was helping him move a couple weeks ago. So
you better not flake on me.
No, I mean I would do more than one.
Okay.
I can do more than one. I would love to do more than one if I had. Anyway, that we're getting off on a tangent. There's one that I have in mind that I would love to do that I haven't done. Anyway, so John was out of the country and had bought some REM tickets, and few of us got, I think I must have gotten the ticket that was meant to be his, whatever it was. So me and two female friends, we were in, I don't know why that's important, 2 friends. We were all driving down to see...
2 gender non-specific friends.
Yes. We were driving down...
we were having conversations about things and equality.
Yes.
constantly, and how everybody should be given their fair share. Oh wait, no, that's communism. No one likes that.
We were driving, and we were listening to REM's album Out of Time. Now, Out of Time begins with a song called Radio Song, which I think features KRS-One. I think is the featured rapper on it. It's an REM song with a rapper on it, and it also features the song "Shiny Happy People."
I want the shiny people over here. I want the happy people over here. I'm Dennis Leary.
I represent angry, gun-toting, meat-eating people.
I'm smoking while I'm talking, and I want to drink coffee with nut flavors in it, and I'm angry, and I'm like... Sorry. That was my Dennis Leary.
Angry Dennis Leary hanging... Everywhere Andrew Garfield looks, there's angry Dennis Leary.
I did that show about firemen.
We're in John's car. And we're listening to Out of Time, and the women in the car are both telling me that when John plays the song and plays the album, and I guess I'd never noticed it, even though he played the album for me in the car before. When he plays the album,
he played the album for me to poop on.
He would always skip Radio Song and Shiny Happy People, and I was like, no. I am in the car. I am in control of the radio, and we are. And this maybe is why he and I aren't friends. If he ever listens to the episode, this is the point at which he goes, "Blasphemer! We are done. We are not friends anymore." We listened to the entire album all the way through. It blew their minds that I was willing to do it. They were just like, "Wait, what?"
Did they play Shiny Happy People when you went to see them?
They did not.
Oh, well, fuck
them.
They
were touring, I forget which album they were touring behind.
Yeah, but still, like, you can play some of your hits.
It's been a long time. They played their hits, but it had been a long time since Out of Time. And
did they play Stand in the Place Where You Live?
That was really good. That was a good live track.
Look about the words that I'm saying. Look around for directions.
You do a great Michael Stipe. Thanks, gotta say. Yeah. So anyway, I think it's easier if you're listening to something on the go,
as opposed to listening while you're just laying around.
Or you see, when I was sitting at my computer, I didn't mind when that was the primary place where I listened to things. I didn't mind the star system because it was, it's right there. I could click 4 stars, 5 stars, whatever. But if I'm in the car or I'm running, it's much easier for me to just say, okay, yes, I love that, or I don't. Right? And that's the way people who have listened to Pandora for years, that's all they've ever had. They've had thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up means play more. Thumbs down, don't play more.
See, but the trick is, like, there's been songs that I've listened to on Pandora that I'm like, I don't have much of an opinion on this. Should I say that I don't like it?
No, you just don't say anything.
Yeah.
You just let it, if you have no opinion.
I could say anything? Hold up a boombox above my head.
Oh, I'm rewatching Lost at the gym, and there was this Hurley got to make his Say Anything reference on the episode I watched yesterday, which of course means that today I watched the episode in which the person Hurley was going to say anything with died.
Spoilers.
Poor Libby. Poor Libby.
Oh,
wrong place
Libby.
At the wrong time.
I liked your canned vegetables. How much time do we have left?
About 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
Well, we got a couple other things.
We do have a couple things. So, I mean, we've skirted around the issue of my birthday. We don't really have to say much about that. I will say something in the... we didn't do that. I'm crossing out.
Why are you crossing? What did you just cross out?
I crossed out dead rappers. I mean, we alluded to the fact...
Is KRS-One dead? Is that a person? Is that multiple persons?
No, that's a person. I don't know if KRS-One is dead. Hold on.
Oh, Christ. Hey, Siri.
Is KRS-One dead?
Wait, is mine?
All right, here's what I got.
What did she say?
She misinterpreted. She thought I said, is KRS-One dad?
And you said yes.
And she said yes. And I have to go talk to my parents now because I wait.
So when you text
how
KRS-One,
old is KRS-One?
Your dad? Let me...
All right, KRS-One is 50, so technically speaking, if he would have been 12 years old. He could have gotten somebody pregnant.
What?
Siri thought I asked, is KRS-One dad?
Yeah.
She said yes. And so I guess what I have to figure, so he was born in 65, which means he would have had to have gotten my mom pregnant at 12.
I don't think you're black at all.
I don't think I'm black at all. And so by asking how old he is, I have found his Wikipedia article, and he is not dead.
Good. Well, I'm glad. So then he's not a dead rapper.
He is not a dead rapper.
Well, the only reason we were going to talk about it is because
I'm drinking out of a glass with Biggie.
We don't need
to
talk about that.
Yeah, no. So it's okay that I crossed that off.
Yeah.
We've talked about my birthday. When we get to plugs, I'll plug something that I hope I get done in time for
we definitely
my birthday.
Becky and I falled the shit out of things today.
I know. That's what we needed to talk about, because we got wedding in the mountains, apple picking, and cider donuts. And then we got one other thing.
The wedding was yesterday, and that was
right.
very nice, and there was lots of foliage, and it was very pretty, although cold during the ceremony, and there was some good stuff, some good food.
Yeah.
Dancing, wedding stuff.
There was a Johnny Carson impression.
During the ceremony. I kept on saying things like the guy that was the officiating the ceremony, he seemed like a radio guy because he kept on talking like a radio guy every once in a while, and I'd be like, oh, wait, and she would just elbow in my ribs. Not really, but she would just chuckle because I'd be very low.
Right.
I forget some of the jokes that I made, but I think they were funny.
Yeah. I mean, if she was trying to elbow you, it was probably because you were making her laugh, and it was an inappropriate time to laugh.
Yes.
That's generally why you get elbowed, right? Right?
Yeah, that and the fact that it's like, stop poking me. Stop trying to tickle me. Stop doing whatever it is you're doing. Because you're being annoying.
A good elbow will straighten most dudes out.
I am an annoying person sometimes. We talked about it last week, and I was just saying apple 6.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm just an idiot. But today we were like, we did some outdoorsy thing, like apple picks.
Yeah.
We picked some noses, picked some apples.
Picked some noses, picked some apples. Hopefully not in that order. Well,
I washed the apple before I ate it. I picked my nose with an apple with the stem.
You're like, air fresheners, that's not enough for me. I need to jam a whole slice of apple up there.
No, not a slice. You put the stem up there.
Oh, the stem. Okay.
Then you kind of drips into the apple, so you got a sweet and savory flavor. So that was one of my jokes.
Didn't Becky say that one of the conditions of us recording on our laptop was not to be gross? And
we were
talking about boogers.
Boogers are a lot less gross than what we were talking about last week. So
right, which we won't repeat because we promised. All right, so you went. You did some apple picking and some nose picking.
We got a pumpkin. You saw the pumpkin.
I did. Nice
I think
pumpkin.
it's not super huge, and it's got a nice shape to it. The stem looks cool.
Do you think you'll carve it, or will you just decorate it on the outside?
I don't know, because we there's a possibility that we'll get another pumpkin.
Okay.
For freezies.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know if this one's just sort of like a counter pumpkin, or we need to take out its innards and carve things inside of it.
Disembowel it.
Yeah. We can bake those seeds, though.
You could bake those seeds. I've never found them to be that tasty.
It's fun, though.
It's fun. Absolutely fun. I'm not going to be a curmudgeon on that, but they didn't.
But then we got apple cider when we were apple picking because it was a chilly afternoon. So we got apple cider, and then we were drinking that while we're walking around the orchard.
Right.
And we filled up the bag. I only managed to drop one of the apples that were in the bag, and we had it full.
You get any particularly weird varietals?
I don't know. We just got Macintosh.
Yeah.
I think some Pink Ladies.
Oh, Pink Ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was some that I forget. Oh, I threw out the list of what groves we were going through.
Yeah, what you were going through. Why doesn't this season last longer? That's what I want to know.
The fall?
The fall is so damn short. It's my favorite season, not just because it's my birthday, but it's my favorite season, and it does not last very long.
Well, the thing is, the seasons that we like the most, the spring and the fall,
right?
When it's cool, light jacket weather, where we can just relax, and you can sleep with the window open and not have to be sweating your balls or vag off, depending on your gender, or your brand new vag if you're Caitlyn Jenner.
I was just gonna say, sweating your vag off sounds way more painful than sweating your balls
painful.
off.
Why would it be painful?
Just to sweat it all off. If it just dropped out because you sweat too much, that.
You're the one who's being gross now.
I wasn't trying to be gross. I was just saying that I.
It's an expression, Chris.
Okay, it's an expression.
I was just saying vag, or I could say tits, sweating your tits off. Your fun bags.
Yeah, you could say all of that.
Your dirty pillows.
You could say all of that and then some, if that's what you see fit.
Okay, but then we got that, and then we got cider donuts and some.
You did. You let me have one, and I am most thankful.
It was a happy birthday cider donut.
Oh my god, I love cider donuts. Fresh cider donuts in particular.
We each had one, like as we were driving away.
That's the best, yeah.
Because they had just come out of the. Mm-hmm. I like because they have like the hot oil.
Yeah.
That's kind of like on a sort of conveyor, and they have the machine where they mix the batter into, and it kind of blurps out.
Yep.
It's like bloop.
Now, here's the thing. Too many of the places around here. You were up north.
We were in Londonderry, New Hampshire. I forget the name of the place, but there's two right next to each other. We went to one of. Wait, I can just look at the bag.
Was it
no,
Max?
It wasn't Max.
No, it wasn't Max.
Hold on,
what I was going to say is, I think a lot of the ones around here, and by around here I mean anything sort of northern Massachusetts, southern New Hampshire, they make them too small. So you get them, and you get like 5 cider donuts, but they're tiny. And the one you had was perfect. It was
I took
really
this out
nice
of the garbage. It was Sunnycrest Farms.
Sunnycrest Farms. We'll link it. We'll link it in the show notes, which I got to do.
There, if you're in the greater Boston area, you want some.
They can't hear.
Apples.
I mean, they can kind of hear you.
You want some apples if you're in the greater Boston area.
Go to whatever it's called.
Sunnycrest. It's right up the street from Max, which is apparently not as good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know that I should comment. I think I once had to borrow a stuffed pheasant from the proprietor of Max.
You had to borrow a stuffed pheasant.
We were making a movie. that has never been.
It was called Chris Has Sex with a Stuffed Pheasant.
You've seen it.
Yes.
I thought it had never come out. No, we were making a movie, and the director wanted all sorts of weird props because. For whatever. He wanted all sorts of weird props. And the person I got directed to was somebody whose last name was Mack, and they live right next to the
apple orchard.
Yeah. So I think I had to borrow a pheasant from them, and so I will not disparage them because we really needed that pheasant.
All I said
tied
was
the
that
room together.
The Sunnycrest or whatever the hell it is that we went to
was better.
There was people online that were saying that it was better, which is why we went there.
Okay.
We personally did not go to both, so we don't know.
So you can't say. All right.
So Max may be really good, but we heard that Sunnycrest was better, which is why we went there.
Yeah, I heard Max 2 is even better than that.
Max 2 is lousy. We're not talking about strip clubs again.
I'm trying to complete the whole list of things that people might drink to. You know, we got our One Piece in there.
Yeah.
You mentioned Patton Oswalt, which I think is I think that's a next level drink.
Yes.
When it's not me and it's Steve that
like when
if I mentioned One Piece.
Yes.
That's like finish your drink and go get another one and finish that.
Yeah.
And so
just get what we should just do is just create a support group for people that get drunk too much from listening to our show.
We should. And we should charge them for it, and that's how we'll make money for the show.
That's a great idea.
Hey, Steve.
Do we have a theme? Are you going to put a theme in?
No, I mean, there's a little sound effect that goes when I ask the question. How did the Patriots cheat this week?
I don't. Oh yeah, we were talking about this a little bit before, and so since the Patriots have a bye this week, they cheated because they didn't give anybody the opportunity to beat them this week.
That is correct, Steve. That is correct. The cheating happened by the Patriots taking the week off, which is just not allowed.
It shouldn't be. Yeah, it's not allowed. That
even though there's three or four other teams that
every team in the NFL gets to do this, and it shouldn't. It's not allowed.
It's not allowed. But none of them are cheating. I mean, they're just following the Patriots' lead.
Yeah.
Right. They're just doing what the Patriots do, and the Patriots are the one that are cheating. They
tread-setting cheaters. Trend-setting.
Tread-setting cheaters.
Yep, that is what I said.
But that's how they cheated this week, man. They didn't let anybody beat them.
Yep, so I'm sorry, you guys. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
They're winning a lot.
No, wait. I got it. Ready?
Knock, knock.
No. I got it. I did it. Knock,
Okay.
knock.
Who's there?
Owen.
Owen O'Leary's?
Nah! Actually, I don't even know if the joke's relevant anymore. There was a hilarious thing that I retweeted with Bill Belichick and the head coach of the Ravens, which is it a Harbaugh? No.
Harblob.
Blah, 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 blah. Harblaw off topic. Episode number 62. That's what you've been listening to. And you can find the show notes for this episode at Clarkwood. Just going right into it. You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/62.
62. U62.
And of course, you can find, you can send us an email if you have anything to say about this show or any of the other ones that you've just binge listened to.
A UHF station. You know what our listeners are like?
What are they like?
If you took their combined IQs and multiplied it by 100, you might have enough intelligence to tie your shoes if you didn't drool all over yourself first.
Well, I'm glad we're being...
I care about them as much as I care about a festering bowl of dog snot.
You can tell Steve what you think about him by emailing us at hot@clarkwoods.com. Or by contacting you on Twitter.
Yes, I am at Tuesday is Loser, at Tuesday IS Loser, all one word.
And I am at ECC1977, which means that right now, as you're listening to this, if you're a good listener and you're listening on Monday, October 5th, that I am now...
Happy birthday day.
I'm now 38 years old.
Happy day.
I'm officially almost dead.
You're always almost more dead. You're always more dead than you were before. Yes.